As I come to you on this day in September 11th, for which these past 24 years we've annually honored those who were lost on that terrible day, it bore a dark shadow which has been hard to bring light to. But while it was a dark day, America emerged from that darkness and we fought its first battle in that 24-year length war that we've been in. It was a war of attrition, and it certainly took some of our best men and some of our best women, not just in New York, Pennsylvania, and Washington, D.C., but in Iraq, Afghanistan, and really all those other hellholes across the world. Our purpose was to tell the terrorists that they no longer had standing in the world of mankind. And of that we told our message, but yesterday, its ugly voice showed us that it's not just foreign terrorism that's affected us, it's alive within the ranks of our own citizenry. And one of the best and one of the brightest, Charlie Kirk, was murdered on a college campus in Utah just for showing Americans how they can search for truth, tell the truth, and really to live out the truth, even if they did disagree, and even while disagreeing. It's really truly the greatest show of America's beliefs when we can stop castigating one another, shooting bullets of hatred from our guns of anger and self-aggrandizement. But Charlie sat in front of 3,000 college students that both agreed and disagreed with his sentiments. But they came as Americans, and I appreciate that. Americans who could use the moment to fine-tune the grandest of Americans' beliefs, and that all men and women would be created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. And among those would be life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness, the right to speak in a public space and a public place, the right to have the liberty to do so without being murdered for it, and I guess maybe even the right to pursue happiness due to those beliefs. Yesterday, that was stolen from the life of an American icon who believed that, as every other American in the crowd believed, that those inalienable rights were among the greatest rights ever afforded to mankind. Well, perhaps it's no mistake that we're going into this Sunday's message speaking about the Lord's Prayer. I say that because the disciples asked Jesus, "Teach us to pray like you pray." And we watched you carefully, Lord, and it's very evident that God hears you and He answers you. So Jesus, teach us how to pray. I can appreciate the request of that because today I am still asking Jesus to answer that request. I find myself empty from the ability of knowing how to pray in this moment. And well, the evil is too great, and the times that we live in are too dark. So Lord, teach me how to pray like you do. Perhaps the most visible part of that prayer today is this part in the prayer. In the middle of it, it says, "Lord, deliver us from evil." And that comes home to each of us today. And I'm reminded of the last verses in the last book of the Bible, book of Revelation. The Apostle John says it this way. He says, "Even so, Lord Jesus, come quickly." Indeed. But while we're here, the Lord, the world, and the church outside of our doors is going to need us to stand up in ways we've never done before. And I think that God is going to ask something that no other generation has had to do. We must help to usher in the coming of the Lord Jesus. And I think we can only learn to do that if we learn how to pray like He prayed. So on this coming Sunday, come and learn with me. And I'm going to be sharing from my heart about what that prayer looks like. Make no mistake, we as a church must come together in this evil day, both to protect our own, but also to protect our nation. So let's do it together. And well, I very much look forward to seeing you in the next couple days. So until then, please join me in praying for Charlie's wife, for their children, and for God's will to come from this mindless, evil tragedy. God richly bless you. Jackie and I love you so much, and we'll see you soon.